Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this video is going to be slightly different than what we usually talk about. So instead of covering yoga practices and meditation practices, we are going to be talking about this book right here called Karma by Sadhguru. Now the reason why we are going to be talking about this book is because karma is one of the fundamentals that we must understand to facilitate our spiritual journey. So in this video I'm going to be talking about 3 key takeaways that I found fascinating about the book, and I'm also going to be covering 1 negative which I didn't find as insightful, or just a general critique of the book in my view. So if you do want to find out what that is, please stick around till the end of the video, and without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So the first point that I wanted to talk about is Vasana. Vasana is whatever you do with your mind, body and energy leaves a certain type of imprint on your body. Essentially what Vasana means is the smell that you emit. For example, a flower emits a certain kind of smell, and therefore it would attract a different kind of life or certain kinds of lives to it. If we look at it and put it into perspective, a flower would attract bees and butterflies and very gentle forms of life. In different cultures, flowers are used for many different reasons. For Hinduism, one of the reasons in which we use flowers is also to offer it to the gods and goddesses. So that is another privilege which the flower has. Now if we look at it for us in terms of humans, if we value certain kinds of things such as honesty, loyalty, compassion and so on, then we will attract those kind of people and situations in our life. Similarly, if we value anger, hatred, jealousy, those are the kind of situations that we will also come across in life and that we will also attract in our life. So it's really important for us to really be mindful of how we program ourselves and how we conduct our mind, body and energy, so that we don't attract any situations that we do not want. The book again goes into so much more detail about this, but this is the first point that I wanted to talk about. The second takeaway is about Ranubandhan. Now Ranubandhan is similar to Vasana, but it's more on a physical level. So Ranubandhan is all of the physical memories that we've gathered in our lifetimes and also by our ancestors. So for example, when a mother gives birth, it transmits all of its energies and all of its imprints and memories into the child. This is why the child then starts to exhibit certain habits of the mother. Another really important thing about Ranubandhan is because it's a sort of imprint that is transcended physically, we can also get it through our romantic relationships. So because of the physical intimacy that we share with our romantic partners, they also have a very huge influence on us because we are exchanging energies. So we could take on a lot of their physical memories, a lot of their emotions. So if your partner may be someone that's compassionate, because of the physical relationship that you're having with that partner, you could also start to imbibe that compassionate feeling into your life. However, if that person is angry, then you could also find yourself being angry a lot of the times. That is how Ranubandhan works. That is how it also shapes our karma, because at the end of the day, karma is action, and how we react to certain situations will also depend on how we keep ourselves and our energies. This is why we also say that if you have, if you're not into a serious relationship but you are physically involved or intimately involved with other people, it is advised not to do so, because your body will be confused. If you take too much energies from many different people, your body will not recognize who it is, so you will lose sense of yourself. This is why people back in the day used to say you shouldn't be with multiple people, you shouldn't have too many partners. Unfortunately back then they didn't really have an explanation for it, which is why it seemed very limited, but the reason why it was said is to protect our own energies. So that is Vanubandhan and how it can impact us. Lastly, the point that I wanted to mention is samskara. Now, samskara is what we have been passed down by our ancestors. So rather than a physical mind and body energy, this is more of a genetic memory. This is why when someone has a particular talent, for example, if someone can sing, a lot of the times we would say, oh, that is their samskara. They can sing well because the ancestors were already involved in that particular field. So it's been passed down from generation to generation. They have that talent. Now, if we put this into perspective, samskara has a really big impact on our karma as well, because again, whatever our ancestors have done can also carry on to us. But again, the key point here is, although we cannot change our samskara because it's something that has already been put into place by our ancestors, we can action on it and we can change the future of our karma. And the way in which we do this is by doing meditation and yoga. Because what meditation and yoga is it creates a space between the mind and the body, between your physical imprint and your mind. So you're no longer thinking that you are a certain way because of someone else. Yoga disassociates everything from that thought, and it really brings back the importance to you as an individual. So that is how we can really tackle samskara and really create our own future. A future that isn't determined by our ancestors, although their influence is very much there. And that concludes the 3 key points that I wanted to mention about the book, which was Vasana, Vanubandhan and Samskara. Moving on to the negatives or the critics of the book is that if you are familiar with Sadhguru's content, a lot of the time he uses Shankara and Pillar to illustrate a certain story or to put the particular example or whatever aspect we're talking about to life. And Sadhguru does that by using Shankara and Pillar stories, which are often really great, but sometimes in this book I did need to think a bit more about what it was trying to tell me and how I could put that into perspective in my own life. That was the only negative I would say about the book, but other than that, it has been an incredible read. I have honestly learned a lot about karma since reading it, so I would highly recommend that you get this book and read it for yourself. That is it for today's video, so thank you so much for listening. I do hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you want to know more about karma, I would make a separate video on this as well, explaining it in a little bit more detail. But yes, thank you so much once again for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Please make sure to click somewhere on the screen for the next one. Thank you.